Hello again from the forge. It's been a while since my last video, but we're going to try one today. I'm going to try something I've never done before, so I might fail miserably. If I do, and you want to see further failures, be sure and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, give us a comment in the comment section. I'd always appreciate it. Today I'm going to try to forge a Yakutian knife. It's a knife that's traditionally used by the Yakuts, which is an ethnic group out of Siberia. In blade shape, to me it's very similar to a puko. Has a very unique grind. One side is flat ground, the other side is convex coming over to the edge. The flat side has a very deep fuller in it. And I've got a little piece of 1095 scrap here. Probably going to work the tang out on the power hammer, do all the blade shaping by hand. Let's see if I can make a mess. Well, let's start this rat's nest out by forging our piece of scrap down into, I want it a little narrower, not quite as wide. I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit. Yes, one more time, this ought to do it. Get a pretty uniform dimension there. And we'll get it warm, and I'm just going to use the power hammer to start the tang of the blade. Just start drawing down the tang. Not worried about finishing it right now. I want to see how the blade comes out before I do anything else with the tang. There is definitely the possibility I'm going to fail miserably because I have never done one of these before, never seen one done. I've just looked at pictures of the blade and see if I can figure it out. That's good enough for now. So we'll move to the anvil and start by forging in the point. Unlike the way I usually do blades, usually I forge in the point and then put a reverse curve, and then hammer in the bevels from both sides. Since I'm only going to be beveling one side, I'm not sure if I should do that. So I'm just going to try it straight and we'll see what happens. I'm going to get my profile forged in the way I want it. And start forging in the bevel from the one side. I'm just going to have to dress it as I go to keep it straight. Starts to get too much of a curve, I'll leave the edge thick enough that I can forge it back. Straighten the spine back out. Just going to take my time, work down the edge and work these bevels in. And like I said, the fuller is going to be on the right side of the blade. So I'm forging the bevels in from what's going to be the left side of the blade. And it's starting to bend a little bit. I'm going to have to smack it a couple times to straighten it back out, because I want that spine fairly flat. We'll use a piece of 2x4 and another chunk of wood and just straighten that spine out. That worked. And we'll finish drawing in our bevel out toward the tip, and that's really going to start curving that tip. Could do this with a grinder, but yeah, what's the fun in that? I hate grinding. That's really curving that tip. So we'll try the 2x4 and chunk of wood to try to straighten it back out. And yeah, no, that's a failure. That's a miserable failure. Good thing I left the edge thick. Since I left the edge thick, I've got enough meat that I can go back and straighten that spine up without screwing up the profile. There we go. Scrub it up so I can see what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to start off with this cross-peen hammer to forge in that fuller. And, oh well, I've started now, but I'm really not liking this effect. I'm really not liking the way this cross-peen's making the fuller, so I'll switch to a ball peen. Hammer this fuller in. Want it nice and deep. You can see how it really bananas that blade. I have to straighten it out. And work that fuller on down the length of the blade. Straighten it out again. It's getting there. Work it on down. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. To flatten everything back out. Get everything back flat, straight. Make sure that fuller is deep enough. That's pretty good. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. Now we gotta work on the tang. So we'll get it warm and go right here and forge the end of the tang that I'd preformed into a point. Now I can go to the power hammer, and that gives me a point, pardon the pun, to draw the tang out to. I want that tang to be long enough to go all the way through the handle material, so I need at least 4.5 inches of tang. And I need it to taper in all directions. It needs to taper from the thickness to be thicker at the blade than at the end. Taper in width. Doesn't have to taper much in width, but a little bit anyway. Pretty well done. Just kind of square things up here on the anvil. Straighten everything up, drop it on the floor. It's drop forged now. And I do believe that fuller is going to be okay. All right, we've got all the forging done. I ran it through a normalization cycle, took it in and just cleaned it up on the belt sander just to see what it's going to look like. And here we go. You can see that long fuller, or that fuller. It's fairly deep. This side is flat. This side is concave. And that's actually the geometry this blade's supposed to have. Now, I've left the edge a little bit thick, but that's okay. I'll polish that out when I get done with the hardening. So I'm going to go throw this in the forge, get it hot, harden it, temper it out, and I'll see if I can do a short video when it's done. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.